The story begins with a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, yet carries the quiet promise of extraordinary value. The 1788 dated commemorative quarter, released in 2000. This piece, struck during the celebrated 50 state quarters program by the United States Mint, blends early American history with modern minting precision. Collectors were drawn immediately to its bold liberty symbolism, the historic date, and the possibility that certain mint-marked versions might become exceptionally scarce. Over time, whispers of rare examples with unusual finishes, pristine preservation, or striking anomalies transformed this humble quarter into a legend of hidden fortune. The coin most often linked to this fascination is the New Hampshire State Quarter, which carries the year 1788 to honor the state's ratification of the Constitution. While millions are produced, only a tiny fraction emerge with near-perfect surfaces, sharp relief, and flawless luster. In the world of coin collecting, perfection is everything. A single microscopic flaw can separate an everyday coin from a treasure that commands breathtaking prices. And that is why certain high-grade examples of this quarter have ignited intense demand among collectors. Mint marks play a crucial role in elevating the value of this commemorative quarter. Coins struck at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco each tell a different story. A Philadelphia strike might appear common, but when preserved in immaculate condition with strong strike details, it suddenly becomes elusive. Denver pieces sometimes show different luster qualities, while San Francisco examples, especially those struck in special finishes, can carry a premium that feels almost unbelievable. The right combination of mint mark, grade, and rarity creates a perfect storm of value. Another factor that fuels excitement is the possibility of minting anomalies. A slightly off-center strike, a double design, or unusual surface texture can transform a standard coin into a unique collectible. These quirks happen rarely, and when they appear on a historically themed commemorative quarter, collectors rush to secure them. The market then begins to elevate prices rapidly, sometimes pushing values far beyond what most people expect from a simple 25-cent piece. Condition remains the most powerful driver of price. Coins graded at the highest levels, especially those with brilliant mirror-like surfaces and crisp edges, are extremely scarce. Many quarters entered circulation quickly, acquiring scratches and wear. Only a handful were saved in pristine condition from the moment they left the mint. These untouched survivors now stand as the elite tier of the series, often commanding extraordinary attention at auctions. The design itself adds emotional appeal. The liberty-inspired symbolism paired with the historic 1788 date evokes the founding era of the United States. Collectors are not just buying metal. They are purchasing a story of early nationhood captured in a modern commemorative format. That narrative deepens the desirability, and desirability is what transforms ordinary coins into prized possessions. Over the years, rumors have circulated about examples discovered in pocket change that later turned out to be worth astonishing sums. Whether exaggerated or not, such stories encourage collectors to recheck their coins carefully. A quarter overlooked for years in a jar might suddenly reveal exceptional detail, unusual coloration, or an overlooked mint mark, sparking excitement that fuels the coin's mythic reputation. The silver-like appearance of certain proof issues also contributes to the coin's aura. While most were struck in standard clad composition, some special editions display a brilliant reflective finish that resembles polished silver. These versions, especially when preserved in protective holders, appear almost jewel-like, intensifying their desirability among enthusiasts. Collectors often emphasize that rarity is not only about how many were minted, but how many survived in top condition. Millions may have been produced, yet only a handful remain flawless decades later. That imbalance between supply and demand can cause prices to climb dramatically, especially when multiple collectors compete for the same top-tier example. The historical date 1788 adds psychological weight. It connects the coin to a pivotal era in American history, and that association makes it feel older and more meaningful than its 2000 release date suggests. This blend of modern minting and historical reference creates a unique identity that few quarters possess. Auction excitement has further amplified interest. When a superbly preserved specimen appears, collectors often engage in intense bidding. The competition can drive prices upward quickly, reinforcing the idea that the right example holds extraordinary potential. Each high-profile sale strengthens the legend of the coin's remarkable worth. Another aspect that elevates this quarter is the sharpness of the engraved details. The mountain profile inscriptions and Liberty-themed presentation create a visually striking coin. When struck perfectly, the design appears almost sculptural, giving the piece an artistic presence that appeals beyond traditional numismatics. Some collectors specifically seek coins with vibrant original luster, untouched by cleaning or polishing. Natural surfaces are prized because they preserve authenticity. When such a coin also carries a desirable mint mark and flawless grade, its appeal multiplies dramatically. Storage history can also influence value. Coins kept in original mint packaging or protective holders tend to retain their brilliance. These preserved examples stand apart from circulated coins and often attract the highest attention when offered for sale. The narrative of sudden fortune continues to captivate enthusiasts. The idea that a single quarter, overlooked for years, might hold exceptional value fuels ongoing interest. Even if only a few reach remarkable prices, the possibility keeps collectors searching. The coin's accessibility is part of its charm. Unlike rare gold coins, this quarter once circulated widely, meaning anyone could theoretically find one. That democratic nature adds excitement and keeps the legend alive. Over time, the market has developed tiers of value, with ordinary circulated pieces remaining modest, while pristine or unusual examples soar far higher. This contrast reinforces a belief that condition and rarity can transform even modern commemoratives into extraordinary collectibles. The enduring fascination with this 1,788 dated commemorative quarter lies in its combination of history, rarity, and visual appeal. It stands as a reminder that value in coin collecting is shaped by scarcity, preservation, and demand, not just face value. Ultimately, the coin represents a dream that a small piece of metal might hold surprising worth. The story of the 1980 Liberty-style quarter begins with a familiar profile of George Washington, a design that had already circulated for decades, yet still carried an aura of quiet possibility. In 1980, millions of quarters were struck, most destined for pockets, vending machines, and everyday transactions. But within that sea of ordinary coins, a tiny number emerged with unusual characteristics, subtle mint variations, and extraordinary preservation that transformed them from spare change into objects of fascination and intense collector pursuit. The coin, often called a Liberty Quarter from 1980, is technically part of the Washington Quarter series, produced by the United States Mint. While the design remained consistent, the difference that ignites excitement lies in the mint mark and condition. Coins struck in Philadelphia carried no mint mark. Those from Denver showed a small D, and San Francisco pieces were typically proofs marked with an S. Each version tells a slightly different story, and collectors carefully inspect them for clues that separate a common coin from a potentially valuable one. Among these, the 1980 coins with pristine surfaces and sharp detail are the ones that capture imagination. A quarter that never touched circulation, with blazing luster and flawless fields, can appear almost frozen in time. When such a coin also displays exceptional strike quality, meaning every hair strand on Washington's head and every feather on the eagle's wings appears crisp, its desirability rises dramatically. This is where the ordinary transforms into something far more intriguing. Collectors often dream about the rare possibility of an ultra-high-grade 1980 quarter graded at the very top of the scale. These coins are not just clean, they are nearly perfect. Under magnification, they show no distracting marks, no dulling, and no wear. Such examples are extremely scarce because most coins were handled, stacked, or counted in bags, leaving tiny contact marks. A flawless survivor from that environment feels almost miraculous. Another factor that fuels excitement is the chance of mint errors. A 1980 quarter with an off-center strike, double lettering, or misaligned die becomes instantly more desirable. These errors occur during production and slip through unnoticed, making them accidental rarities. When collectors discover one decades later, it feels like uncovering a hidden secret that had been traveling quietly through time. Some 1980 quarters also display strong luster with a shimmering cartwheel effect. When rotated under light, the surface glows in sweeping arcs. This visual appeal can elevate collector demand, especially when paired with exceptional preservation. A coin like this doesn't just hold value. It commands attention and curiosity. Proof coins from San Francisco in 1980 bring another layer of fascination. These were specially made for collectors, with mirrored backgrounds and frosted designs. When preserved perfectly, they appear almost jewel-like. Deep cameo examples, where the contrast between frosted portrait and reflective field is dramatic, are especially sought after. The mythology surrounding valuable coins often grows from stories of unexpected discovery. Someone empties an old jar, flips through inherited change, or opens a forgotten roll, and suddenly a 1980 quarter looks different. That moment of curiosity, checking the mint mark, examining the surface, noticing unusual detail, can turn routine into suspense. Condition plays the most powerful role. A circulated 1980 quarter is typically worth only face value, but coin graded at the very top, untouched and brilliant, can command significantly higher prices among collectors. The difference between worn and pristine is enormous, even though both coins began their lives identical. The Denver minted 1980 D quarters sometimes attract attention when found in unusually high grade. Their strikes can vary, and collectors hunt for those with bold detail and smooth fields. When such a coin appears, competition can drive its desirability higher. Philadelphia minted 1980 quarters without mint marks also create excitement because they were produced in massive numbers. Finding one in exceptional condition is surprisingly difficult. The rarity lies not in production but in survival. The thrill deepens when a coin shows subtle doubling in letters or numbers. Even minor doubling can transform a common coin into a conversation piece. Collectors examine Liberty, the date, and the eagle's features for any sign of this phenomenon. Another layer of intrigue comes from toning. Over time, some coins develop natural color patterns, gold, violet, blue, or smoky gray. When attractive and evenly distributed, this toning can enhance appeal and make a coin stand out dramatically. The 1980 quarter also carries historical charm. It reflects an era before modern digital payments, when coins moved constantly through hands and machines. Holding one feels like touching a small fragment of everyday economic history. Collectors often emphasize patience. Many search through hundreds or thousands of quarters, hoping to spot a standout 1980 example. The rarity isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's simply a coin that looks unusually sharp compared to the rest. Stories about life-changing coin finds circulate widely. While most 1980 quarters won't reach extreme values, the idea that a tiny detail could transform a coin's worth keeps interest alive. It's the blend of hope and possibility that fuels the search. Professional grading services further shape the coin's destiny. When a 1980 quarter receives an elite grade, it gains credibility and recognition. Suddenly, what looked ordinary becomes a certified collectible with documented quality. Collectors also appreciate coins with original mint brilliance untouched by cleaning. A coin that remains exactly as it left the mint, even decades later, holds a special authenticity. That untouched surface tells a silent story of preservation. In the end, the 1980 Liberty-style quarter represents possibility more than certainty. Most remain everyday coins, yet a rare few, perfectly struck, brilliantly preserved, or carrying mint errors, can capture attention and command surprising value. That quiet potential is what makes searching for these coins feel like chasing hidden treasure, where a small silver-colored disc might suddenly transform from loose change into something far more extraordinary. The story of the 1987 Liberty-style quarter begins with a familiar portrait of George Washington staring calmly from the front, a design that collectors often call a Liberty-inspired symbol of American heritage. At first glance, a 1987 quarter looks ordinary, something you might find in loose change, yet certain rare examples from this year have stirred fascination because of their condition, unusual mint characteristics, and the almost myth-like excitement that surrounds hidden treasures in everyday coins. In 1987, these quarters were produced by the United States Mint primarily for circulation, meaning they were not intended to be rare collector pieces. However, scarcity does not always come from low production. Sometimes it emerges from survival. Many 1987 quarters were heavily used, worn down, scratched, and eventually removed from circulation. This means pristine examples today are far harder to find than people expect. especially coins that appear untouched by time. Collectors often focus on the mint mark when searching for something special. The 1987 quarter exists mainly with P for Philadelphia and D for Denver. There is no standard circulation strike from San Francisco that year, which adds intrigue. When a coin from 1987 appears in unusually sharp condition with a bold mint mark and mirror-like surfaces, collectors immediately pay attention because such pieces stand far above the typical worn examples. What truly elevates a 1987 Liberty-style quarter into a desirable collectible is its grade. Coins graded near perfection, with razor-sharp details in Washington's hair, crisp lettering, and glowing luster, can command dramatically higher prices. These are coins that look like they were struck yesterday, even though decades have passed. In the collecting world, perfection is rare, and rarity drives excitement. Another factor that fuels the imagination is the possibility of mint errors. A 1987 quarter with an off-center strike, doubled lettering, or a dramatic misalignment can transform from common coin to headline-worthy collectible. These errors occur during production and are not intentional, yet they create one-of-a-kind pieces. The more dramatic the error, the more collectors become captivated by it. Some 1987 quarters have also been found with exceptionally strong strikes, where every detail is deeply impressed. The eagle on the reverse appears bold, the feathers sharply defined, and the fields shine with a smooth, almost reflective glow. These coins stand out immediately, even as someone with limited experience. Their beauty alone creates the sense that they hold something special. Despite the excitement, it is important to understand that most 1987 quarters are not made of silver. They are copper-nickel-clad coins, which means their value comes from rarity and condition rather than precious metal content. This detail surprises many people who expect older-looking coins to contain silver. Instead, the true treasure lies in exceptional preservation or unusual features. Collectors sometimes describe the hunt for a rare 1987 quarter as searching for a silent sleeper. These coins will be sitting in drawers, old jars, or forgotten collections. The idea that an overlooked piece of change might suddenly reveal unexpected value fuels endless curiosity. It's this possibility that keeps enthusiasts examining every detail. High-grade certified examples of 1987 quarters have sold for significantly more than face value, especially when graded at the very top levels. The difference between an average circulated coin and a near-perfect one can be enormous. That leap in desirability creates the dramatic stories that circulate among collectors and spark dreams of discovering a hidden gem. The mint mark itself becomes a focal point for collectors. A sharply defined P or D, with no wear and strong edges, suggests the coin avoided heavy circulation. When paired with bright surfaces and no scratches, the coin starts to look extraordinary. These subtle features can transform something common into something coveted. Lighting also plays a role in identifying a valuable 1987 quarter. When tilted under light, a rare high-quality coin will flash with cartwheel luster, a spinning glow that moves across the surface. This effect is a hallmark of coins that have not been heavily handled. Collectors often use this visual clue as an early sign of potential value. Another captivating element is the historical context. By 1987, quarters have been circulating in huge numbers for decades, yet few people were saving them carefully. Unlike earlier silver coins that were hoarded, these clad quarters were treated as ordinary money. This lack of preservation contributes to the scarcity of top-grade survivors today. Occasionally, coins from mint sets issued in 1987 appear in exceptional condition. These pieces were stored carefully and protected from circulation. When removed decades later, they sometimes appear nearly flawless. Such coins can attract strong interest when evaluated and graded. The reverse design with the eagle can also reveal rarity. Coins showing fully separated feathers, sharp wing lines, and deep relief stand apart from weaker strikes. These details often fade quickly with wear, so when they remain intact, collectors recognize something unusual. Surface quality matters greatly. A 1987 quarter free from contact marks, scratches, and dullness is far harder to find than expected. Most coins from that era were stacked in bags and transported, causing tiny hits. Finding one untouched is part of what makes the search exciting. The narrative of $1 million coin often grows from the idea that extreme rarity could push values dramatically higher. While most 1987 quarters will never reach such levels, the fascination persists because the market rewards uniqueness. A coin combining perfect grade, rare error, and historical interest could command extraordinary attention. Collectors also appreciate toning, the subtle coloration that develops over time. Some 1987 quarters show soft gold, blue, or rainbow hues. When natural and attractive, these colors can enhance desirability. Each tone coin becomes visually unique, adding personality to the piece. Authentication and grading are essential for any coin believed to be valuable. Professional evaluation confirms whether a coin truly stands above the rest. Without certification, it is difficult to establish high value. This step separates hopeful finds from genuinely rare examples. The enduring appeal of the 1987 Liberty-style quarter lies in possibility. Most are ordinary, yet a few stand apart with stunning condition, unusual mint traits, or striking beauty. That contrast fuels the excitement, encouraging collectors to look closely at every coin. Somewhere among countless ordinary pieces, a remarkable survivor may still be waiting to surprise the person who notices its hidden brilliance. The story of a 1979 Liberty $1 coin begins with a bold experiment, an attempt to reshape American pocket change with a smaller, modern dollar. On its face appears a determined profile of Susan B. Anthony, a symbol of courage and progress, but hidden behind this everyday appearance is a world of rare mint marks, subtle design differences, and extraordinary collector demand. For most people, it looks like an ordinary coin. For a few lucky owners, it could be a silent treasure waiting to be discovered. In 1979, the first year of production created a wave of excitement among collectors. Anytime a new coin series begins, unusual varieties often slip through. Tiny changes in lettering, alignment, or minting pressure. These early-year differences are exactly what can transform a simple $1 coin into something far more valuable. The earliest strikes, especially those with crisp details and flawless surfaces, are the ones collectors chase relentlessly. One of the most talked-about features on 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars is the mint mark. Coins were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each carrying its own identity. Among them, certain San Francisco-proof coins with distinctive mint mark styles became legendary. When collectors discovered that some mint marks were shaped differently, appearing either filled or clear, it triggered a frenzy. These tiny differences can dramatically influence value. The famous wide rim or near-date variety from 1979 quickly became one of the most desirable. On these coins, the date appears closer to the rim, making the spacing noticeably tighter. It's a small detail, easy to miss, yet incredibly powerful. Because fewer of these were minted, collectors consider them special, and their demand continues to climb whenever high-grade examples appear on the market. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. A worn coin might only be worth a few dollars, but a perfectly preserved 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, untouched, shining, and sharply struck, can multiply in value dramatically. Coins graded at the highest levels, with brilliant luster and no scratches, often command prices that surprise even seasoned collectors. Proof coins from 1979 hold a special place in the collector world. These coins were struck with polished dies and mirror-like surfaces, giving them a dramatic contrast between frosted design and reflective background. When preserved in flawless condition, these proof coins become stunning showpieces, and collectors compete fiercely to own them. Some 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars also feature striking errors. Off-center strikes, double lettering, or unusual die breaks turn ordinary coins into one-of-a-kind collectibles. Because mint errors are unpredictable, each one becomes unique, and rarity drives demand higher. A dramatic error combined with excellent condition can push values into remarkable territory. The excitement surrounding this coin isn't just about rarity. It's about discovery. These coins circulated widely, meaning valuable pieces could still be hiding in old collections, coin jars, or forgotten drawers. That possibility fuels the thrill. Every time someone checks a $1,979 coin, they're searching for that rare variation that could change everything. Collectors often look closely at the lettering and edges. Even minor doubling on the date or inscriptions can signal a desirable variety. These subtle characteristics are not visible at a quick glance, which makes careful examination essential. The more unique the feature, the more appealing it becomes to serious buyers. Another factor driving value is historical significance. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar marked a major shift in coin design, honoring a real historical figure rather than symbolic imagery. This milestone added emotional and cultural weight, increasing collector interest and helping maintain long-term demand. High-grade specimens stored in original mint packaging are especially sought after. When coins remain untouched since the day they were issued, their surfaces retain that original brilliance. Collectors pay premiums for these pristine examples because they represent the coin exactly as it left the mint. Auction appearances often reignite interest in this coin. When a rare 1979 variety sells for an impressive amount, it sparks new attention. Suddenly, collectors start checking their own coins again, hoping to find the same characteristics. This cycle keeps the coin relevant and desirable decades after its release. The Type 1 and Type 2 mint mark differences from San Francisco are among the most discussed features. One appears blob-like, while the other is clearer and sharper. This tiny detail can separate a common coin from a prized collectible, and identify it correctly can make a dramatic difference. Luster is another key detail collectors value. Coins with bright, original shine often stand out immediately. That glowing surface, combined with sharp details, makes a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar far more appealing. The stronger the eye appeal, the higher the potential value. Even small scratches or contact marks can reduce value, which is why untouched coins command premiums. The fewer imperfections a coin has, the more collectors are willing to compete for it. Perfect coins are extremely rare, making them the ultimate prize. Some collectors also focus on full strike quality. When the hair details, lettering, and eagle on the reverse appear crisp and fully defined, it indicates a superior strike. These coins are hard to find and often valued more highly. Over time, interest in this coin has steadily grown. As more collectors enter the hobby, demand increases while top-quality examples remain limited. This balance between supply and demand is what keeps certain 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars highly desirable. For anyone holding a 1979 Liberty $1 coin, the message is simple. Look closely before spending it. The difference between an ordinary coin and a valuable one may be just a tiny detail. That small variation could be the reason collectors are willing to pay far more than face value. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar may appear modest at first glance, but hidden within its variations, mint marks, and conditions lies a potential for surprising value. Whether it's a wide rim variety, a rare proof, or an unusual error, these coins carry the excitement of discovery, turning an everyday dollar into a collectible treasure worth far more than anyone might expect. The 1999 Susan B. Anthony Liberty $1 coin sits in a fascinating corner of modern coin collecting, where ordinary pocket change can suddenly attract extraordinary attention. When people first encounter this small, silver-colored dollar, they often dismiss it as common. But collectors know that certain examples from 1999, especially those with exceptional preservation, unusual mint characteristics, or striking anomalies, can command far more than face value. The thrill comes from the possibility that a simple coin resting unnoticed in a drawer could hold surprising collector appeal. The story of the 1999 issue begins with demand. After the earlier Susan B. Anthony dollars from 1979 to 1981 disappeared from circulation, the U.S. Mint unexpectedly revived the design in 1999 to meet vending machine and transit system needs. This sudden return created a short, single-year revival, and that alone gives the 1999 coin a unique place in the series. Whenever a coin appears briefly and then vanishes again, collectors naturally pay closer attention, and that attention fuels excitement. At first glance, the 1999 coin looks similar to earlier Susan B. Anthony dollars, with Liberty portrayed as Susan B. Anthony on the front and an eagle landing on the moon on the reverse. However, collectors don't just look at the design. They inspect shine, strike sharpness, and mint origin. Coins from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco were produced, and each mint has subtle differences. When these differences combine with flawless surfaces, values can rise dramatically compared to circulated pieces. Condition is everything. A worn 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar usually remains worth close to $1, but a coin graded in pristine mint state, especially MS-67 or higher, transforms into a completely different category. These coins show no scratches, full luster, and sharply defined details. When collectors compete for top-grade examples, prices can climb quickly, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands depending on demand and rarity within that grade. The San Francisco Mint proof coins add another layer of fascination. These proof versions were struck with specially polished dies, producing mirror-like fields and frosted portraits. Some proofs from 1999 show deep cameo contrast, where the portrait appears almost sculpted against a glassy background. These visually striking pieces are highly sought after by collectors building perfect proof sets, and premium examples can command impressive prices. Another reason the 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar attract attention is the possibility of mint errors. Error coins, such as off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or unusual metallic surfaces, can dramatically increase desirability. A rare and dramatic error on a 1999 coin can elevate it from a common dollar to a collectible curiosity that collectors actively hunt for. The more unusual the mistake, the stronger the collector interest. There is also excitement around coins that appear unusually bright or silver-like. Many people assume the 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar is made of pure silver, but it is actually composed of copper nickel clad. However, certain coins appear more reflective due to fresh mint luster or proof finishing. This visual brilliance often sparks the belief that the coin is rare or precious, adding to its mystique. Collectors also pay close attention to strike quality. Some 1999 coins show especially crisp details in Susan B. Anthony's hair and the eagle's feathers. When every line is sharp and the coin shines evenly, it becomes a candidate for high-grade certification. These elite examples are scarce compared to the millions minted, and scarcity at the top-grade level is what creates high-value opportunities. The late release of the 1999 coins means many were stored rather than circulated. Ironically, this makes ultra-perfect examples harder to find because many coins were stacked, bagged, or handled in bulk, causing small marks. Finding one that escaped contact marks becomes a rewarding challenge. That challenge fuels collector competition and pushes premium pieces higher. Some collectors believe the 1999 issue represents the final chapter of the Susan B. Anthony design, since it was replaced by the Sacagawea dollar in 2000. This last year, significance adds emotional appeal. Coins marking the end of the series often gain long-term interest, especially when preserved in pristine condition. The idea of owning the final issue gives the coin symbolic value beyond metal. There are also varieties that collectors examine closely, including subtle differences in lettering sharpness, rim thickness, and luster texture. While not all varieties are officially recognized, enthusiasts still hunt for unusual examples. The excitement of discovering a distinct coin encourages people to check their pocket change more carefully. Professional grading services further amplify value. When a 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar receives a top certification label, collectors trust its authenticity and quality. This trust transforms a simple coin into a documented collectible. Auction results for top-graded examples often surprise people who once believed the coin was common. The idea that a coin could change someone's fortune adds to the legend. Stories circulate about rare modern coins selling for unexpectedly high amounts, and the 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar sometimes appears in those discussions. While not every coin is valuable, the possibility keeps collectors searching, hoping to find that one exceptional specimen. Visual appeal also matters. A coin with blazing white luster, rainbow toning, or mirror surfaces becomes far more attractive than dull examples. Natural toning can create blues, golds, and purples that make the coin look like miniature artwork. Collectors often pay premiums for coins that stand out visually. The relatively short production period of 1999 coins, compared to other years, adds another layer of intrigue. Even though millions were minted, truly flawless coins are scarce. This contrast between high mintage and low perfect survivors is what drives collector excitement and perceived rarity. Some coins are preserved in original mint packaging or sealed rolls. These untouched pieces hold additional appeal because they may contain undiscovered high-grade coins. Opening a sealed roll from 1999 becomes a treasure hunt, where any coin inside might be the standout example collectors dream about. Market demand also shifts over time. When interest in dollar coins rises, the 1999 Susan B. Anthony issue often returns to the spotlight. Collectors building full date sets must include this coin, and competition for the best examples intensifies. This periodic surge keeps values active. It's important to understand that not every 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar is worth a fortune, but exceptional ones absolutely attract attention. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary often lies in condition, rarity, and visual beauty. That thin line is what makes coin collecting so exciting. The 1980 Liberty Susan B. Anthony $1 coin carries a quiet reputation that has slowly turned into a loud whisper among collectors. At first glance, it looks ordinary, small, and easily confused with a quarter, but hidden behind its modest appearance is a coin that some enthusiasts hunt with intense determination. The idea that a simple dollar could hold astonishing value creates a sense of excitement, and the 1980 issue has become one of those pieces people examine carefully before letting it slip away. When this coin was released, it did not receive much love from the public. Many people disliked its size, and it never circulated with the popularity expected. Because of that, countless coins were stored away, forgotten in drawers, coin jars, and bankrolls. Years later, collectors began to revisit these overlooked pieces, discovering that certain 1980 Susan B. Anthony coins with specific mint marks and sharp details could carry surprisingly strong demand. The word Liberty on the obverse, combined with the bold portrait of Susan B. Anthony, gives the coin a powerful presence. The design reflects determination and history, and collectors often connect emotionally with it. This emotional connection sometimes pushes rare examples into higher value territory, especially when the coin shows strong strike quality, minimal wear, and clean surfaces that sparkle under light. The 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar was minted in different locations, and those mint marks play a critical role in determining desirability. Some coins show crisp lettering and deeper impressions, while others appear soft or faded. When collectors find a sharply struck coin with an appealing mint mark, it instantly becomes more desirable, and that demand fuels speculation about extraordinary value. There's also the excitement around error coins. A 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar with a striking error, double details, or unusual surface characteristics can transform from a common coin into a headline piece. These rare variations create stories that circulate among collectors, with whispers of coins discovered in pocket change and later valued far above face value. Condition is another factor that turns an ordinary coin into something remarkable. A coin preserved in near-perfect condition, with brilliant luster and no scratches, is far rarer than circulated examples. Collectors often compete for these pristine coins, and when demand rises, the perceived value can climb dramatically. Some collectors believe that unopened mint rolls from 1980 hold hidden treasures. The idea of opening an untouched roll and finding a flawless specimen adds a thrill. This mystery keeps interest alive, encouraging people to recheck coins they might otherwise ignore. The reverse of the coin, featuring the eagle landing on the moon, adds another layer of symbolism. It connects the coin to ambition and exploration. This artistic design, combined with the historical significance of Susan B. Anthony, creates a coin that feels larger than its small size. Stories often circulate about individuals discovering a rare 1980 Susan B. Anthony coin in old collections. These stories fuel the belief that valuable examples are still out there. The possibility of turning a simple dollar into something extraordinary captures attention and keeps collectors searching. Some high-grade coins from this year have surprised collectors at auctions. When a coin appears with exceptional detail and eye appeal, bidding can become intense. Each competitive bid adds to the legend of the 1980 issue, strengthening its reputation as a coin worth examining closely. The metallic shine of an uncirculated example can be mesmerizing. When light reflects off untouched surfaces, the coin seems to glow. Collectors often describe this brilliance as a sign of quality, and it becomes one of the first features they check. Another fascinating aspect is the coin's historical timing. Released during a transitional period for U.S. currency, the Susan B. Anthony dollar represents experimentation. That historical context adds depth, and collectors often value coins that mark unique moments. The 1980 issue also attracts beginners who hope to find something special. Because the coin is still relatively accessible, it invites new collectors to participate. This broad interest helps keep demand steady and occasionally pushes standout pieces into higher value ranges. Collectors sometimes examine the edges, lettering alignment, and spacing between design elements. Small differences can make a coin more intriguing. These subtle details turn ordinary examination into an exciting hunt. The idea that a rare 1980 Susan B. Anthony coin could dramatically change someone's fortune adds a layer of imagination. Whether realistic or exaggerated, this belief keeps enthusiasm alive. It encourages people to slow down and inspect each coin carefully. Over time, the coin has gained a cult-like following. Dedicated collectors discuss variations, compare conditions, and share discoveries. Each new find adds a narrative that valuable examples still exist. Even worn coins can hold interest if they show unusual features. Collectors often keep them aside, hoping they might represent something uncommon. This habit keeps the 1980 coin relevant and widely searched. The balance between common availability and rare standout examples creates excitement. Most coins remain modest in value, but the possibility of finding an exceptional piece drives the search. That uncertainty is what makes the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar fascinating. In the end, the 1980 Liberty Susan B. Anthony $1 coin represents more than just currency. It symbolizes opportunity, curiosity, and the thrill of discovery. Whether worth a dollar or far more, it encourages collectors to look closely, because sometimes the smallest coin can carry the biggest prize. The story of the 1979 Liberty $1 coin begins with a bold experiment, an attempt to reshape American pocket change with a smaller, modern dollar. On its face appears a determined profile of Susan B. Anthony, a symbol of courage and progress, but hidden behind this everyday appearance is a world of rare mint marks, subtle design differences, and extraordinary collector demand. For most people, it looks like an ordinary coin. For a few lucky owners, it could be a silent treasure waiting to be discovered. In 1979, the first year of production created a wave of excitement among collectors. Anytime a new coin series begins, unusual varieties often slip through. Tiny changes in lettering, alignment, or minting pressure. These earlier differences are exactly what can transform a simple $1 coin into something far more valuable. The earliest strikes, especially those with crisp details and flawless surfaces, are the ones collectors chase relentlessly. One of the most talked about features on 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars is the mint mark. Coins were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each carrying its own identity. Among them, certain San Francisco-proof coins with distinctive mint mark styles became legendary. When collectors discovered that some mint marks were shaped differently, appearing either filled or clear, it triggered a frenzy. These tiny differences can dramatically influence value. The famous wide rim or near-date variety from 1979 quickly became one of the most desirable. On these coins, the date appears closer to the rim, making the spacing noticeably tighter. It's a small detail, easy to miss, yet incredibly powerful. Because fewer of these were minted, collectors consider them special, and their demand continues to climb whenever high-grade examples appear on the market. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. A worn coin might only be worth a few dollars, but a perfectly preserved 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, untouched, shining, and sharply struck, can multiply in value dramatically. Coins graded at the highest levels, with brilliant luster and no scratches, often command prices that surprise even seasoned collectors. Proof coins from 1979 hold a special place in the collector world. These coins were struck with polished dies and mirror-like surfaces, giving them a dramatic contrast between frosted design and reflective background. When preserved in flawless condition, these proof coins become stunning showpieces, and collectors compete fiercely to own them. Some 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars also feature striking errors. Off-center strikes, double lettering, or unusual die breaks turn ordinary coins into one-of-a-kind collectibles. Because mint errors are unpredictable, each one becomes unique, and rarity drives demand higher. A dramatic error combined with excellent condition can push values into remarkable territory. The excitement surrounding this coin isn't just about rarity. It's about discovery. These coins circulated widely, meaning valuable pieces could still be hiding in old collections, coin jars, or forgotten drawers. That possibility fuels the thrill. Every time someone checks a $1,979 coin, they're searching for that rare variation that could change everything. Collectors often look closely at the lettering and edges. Even minor doubling on the date or inscriptions can signal a desirable variety. These subtle characteristics are not visible at a quick glance, which makes careful examination essential. The more unique the feature, the more appealing it becomes to serious buyers. Another factor driving value is historical significance. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar marked a major shift in coin design, honoring a real historical figure rather than symbolic imagery. This milestone adds emotional and cultural weight, increasing collector interest and helping maintain long-term demand. High-grade specimens stored in original mint packaging are especially sought after. When coins remain untouched since the day they were issued, their surfaces retain that original brilliance. Collectors pay premiums for these pristine examples because they represent the coin exactly as it left the mint. Auction appearances often reignite interest in this coin. When a rare 1979 variety sells for an impressive amount, it sparks new attention. Suddenly, collectors start checking their own coins again, hoping to find the same characteristics. This cycle keeps the coin relevant and desirable decades after its release. The Type 1 and Type 2 mint mark differences from San Francisco are among the most discussed features. One appears blob-like, while the other is clearer and sharper. This tiny detail can separate a common coin from a prized collectible, and identify it correctly can make a dramatic difference. Luster is another key detail collectors value. Coins with bright, original shine often stand out immediately. That glowing surface, combined with sharp details, makes a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar far more appealing. The stronger the eye appeal, the higher the potential value. Even small scratches or contact marks can reduce value, which is why untouched coins command premiums. The fewer imperfections a coin has, the more collectors are willing to compete for it. Perfect coins are extremely rare, making them the ultimate prize. Some collectors also focus on full strike quality. When the hair details, lettering, and eagle on the reverse appear crisp and fully defined, it indicates a superior strike. These coins are hard to find and often valued more highly. Over time, interest in this coin has steadily grown. As more collectors enter the hobby, demand increases while top-quality examples remain limited. This balance between supply and demand is what keeps certain 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars highly desirable. For anyone holding a 1979 Liberty $1 coin, the message is simple. Look closely before spending it. The difference between an ordinary coin and a valuable one may be just a tiny detail. That small variation could be the reason collectors are willing to pay far more than face value. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar may appear modest at first glance, but hidden within its variations, mint marks, and conditions lies a potential for surprising value. Whether it's a wide rim variety, a rare proof, or an unusual error, these coins carry the excitement of discovery, turning an everyday dollar into a collectible treasure worth far more than anyone might expect.